Where to begin? Extremely proud of the fan base. For them to sell out 7 straight home games, or 13, whatever the total is, but for this year to sell it out, to show up in the snow and the cold weather in tough conditions and be loud and be boisterous, and the students to come back is an incredible step in the right direction. And just really, really appreciative of our fan base. To our players and coaching staff, I mean, somebody was just telling me, I guess in our 4 SEC home games, we had to win a double overtime, had to come back in the fourth quarter versus Auburn, Oklahoma, and now Arkansas. Resiliency, never quit, believing in each other, trusting each other. Just tremendous all the way around. A lot of things that we can work to improve from a coaching staff standpoint and player standpoint, but this senior class is leaving a heck of a legacy of toughness and grit, determination, never quitting, never giving up. And for Brady to have that quarterback draw for a walk-off, I think is pretty special. So with that, I guess I'll open it up with questions.
Well, you kind of referenced it, but is this like a fitting way for this team to win the last game of the season? It seemed kind of encapsulated of your whole year. Yeah,
it just kind of does. Our defense's ability to force turnovers, I think, was the difference in the game. Obviously, the 2 takeaways that resulted in 14 points are the difference in the game, and for our guys to play complementary football like that, which is what we've done best all year, is pretty good, and obviously key to our success.
Coach, what did that moment with Brady, you guys embraced and stand in front of that trophy, what did that mean to you?
I don't know yet. I don't know. It's going to be hard to be the head coach without him. I'm appreciative that I got one more game with him, just because you knew what you were getting. You knew the toughness that you were going to get. You knew the determination and the preparation, and I mean, just an incredible will to win, which is what you saw at the end right there.
Eli obviously woulda, coulda, shoulda with the 3 losses, with 9 wins.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, and what does that mean for your program?
Yeah, I mean, I told our staff the difference between a good year and a great year was the ability to win this last game and get 9 wins and put ourselves in a position to do something that hasn't been done a ton, with back-to-back 10-win seasons. Obviously, I figure we'll finish the season ranked, which is a step in the right direction. We want to be a top 25 program that contends for championships, and to be able to do that in back-to-back season tells you that you're not a flash in the pan. You're moving in the right direction. Obviously, disappointed. I talked to our seniors and our team about this. The best leave a legacy, and you're not going to just get over the hump the first time you charge the hill. You got to be resilient and keep going. And the past 2 years we've had opportunities. We haven't quite got it done, but that doesn't mean you give up. You just find ways to continue to improve and keep charging that hill. And when we do finally get across, we'll look back and we'll remember the seniors, whether it's Cody Schrader and Darius Robinson and Chris Abrams-Drain, or this year's group with Brady Cook and Theo Weiss and Johnny Walker and all those guys that have left a legacy here.
Coach, no Mizzou squad has gone 7-0 at home until now. What does that mean to you right now, and what does it mean as you cultivate this atmosphere?
Yeah, core value number 1 is always compete, to do it better than it's ever been done before, and so we're always searching for things that we can accomplish that haven't been accomplished before. And for us to be able to do something like that this year is a really remarkable thing, and something that we'll just continue to knock off the list. Yeah, it's just one of those games where you had to really want to tackle somebody. It's cold out there, and you land on the snow and ice, and it was pretty icy. And his ability just to continue to gain positive yards, get his shoulders downhill, was really impressive. I should have also said thank you very much to the grounds crew. I mean, they worked their butt off. That was an incredible snowfall. From yesterday thinking it was going to be an inch to that. I don't know how many inches fell out there, but a lot. And for us to get that playing surface ready to play was awesome and appreciative. I even saw Marcy out there. She was shoveling all the way up until game time.
Coach, with that, just how much do you think the snow and the weather was a factor in how this game played out stylistically?
Yeah, it was a factor, brother. It was a factor. Hard to run routes, hard to get a grip on the ball, hard to have footing. I actually thought Coach Petrino had a great plan. He ran a lot of crossing routes to keep his guys on free-flowing movements, which was a really good plan as far as throwing the football and utilizing tempo. So, I thought they did a really nice job defensively. I thought Travis, I don't know how many of y'all knew, but Travis and I were GAs together. I thought he did a really good job of keeping us off balance, playing multiple defensive fronts against us, multiple coverages. So they did a really nice job. It's just 2 turnovers and our guys' will to win.
Eli, a play that might not get the attention of some others, but what about Joseph Charleston's play down in the corner of the end zone where it looked like Armstrong might have had a touchdown that would have tied it there on third down or second down, next last play of the game?
Yeah, Joseph comes over the top. I thought he picked it, but I guess the ball went out of bounds. But we were playing a version of cover two-man, and Joe's just been very consistent. I think one of the things that goes undervalued, I mean, Joseph's broken both of his hands this year and had to have surgery on both thumbs. Played with casts pretty much all year, and just shows up every day. And really, really proud of him. Half our secondary's got cast on them or cinched down or whatever. And they just show up and play and work hard, and really, really proud of them.
Coach, you talk about the emotions of playing on senior day begin the day with all kinds of hugs and tears and photos and all that. Then you got to turn around and try to play a football game against a team that's really trying to beat you.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what the emotion, highs and lows of that is like?
Yeah, one of the core values or one of the things that we talk about is a this play mentality, and that was really what I said in pregame and reminded our team is don't. This is not the last time you're going to be in Furrow Field. Okay, this is the last time you're going to play a game. So what you need to do is focus on the moment, play in the moment, play the play. You'll be back, and all these memories will flood back again. But what you got to do is, when you score, look up and enjoy it. When you make a play, look up and enjoy it. But then focus on this moment and this play. And I thought they did a really, really nice job of doing that. These guys mean a lot to us. We have a lot of them. So obviously went from tears to now they're smoking cigars. So not a bad day.
Somebody who was in on basically every play tonight, Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how his relentlessness, especially in the last few weeks, has inspired them Warriors and has inspired the
Yeah, I think Johnny's just been a guy that you can look back on and say, this is what our program continues to be built on. I mean, he didn't really play much for 3 years. He came in at 198 pounds, and now he's developed into a 255-pound player that, has had 5 sacks in 5 games. And I don't think he got one tonight, but obviously should have had one on that intentional grounding. And just an unbelievable effort leader, shows up every day. I mean, he doesn't get as much credit as maybe Christian and Brady, but every bit the leader. And super, super proud of Johnny Walker and the man he's become.
Coach, talk about you talked about how the weather stylistically, changed the way you guys played the game. You guys went down 14-7 there, and then responded with 2 scoring drives that I believe had 1 pass completion each of them. What made it easy for you guys to rely on the run despite being down?
Well, when you're down 1 score, you just want to continue to get positive plays and not get behind the chains. And we came out in the first drive was a complete atrocity of offense. Those first 3 plays, and so just told them to settle down. Let's get back to what we were doing, running the football. And I thought Kirby did a nice job. But once we get into a rhythm, similar to what we did last week, once we get into a rhythm running the ball, like let's not get cute and get away from it. Let's stick with it and make them stop us.
Coach, the final seniors from your first year here at Mizzou are graduating with this class. As you enter your final game with them, how have you seen the culture of this entire program change from the first day they stepped into this building to when they carried their rock out of the block end tonight?
I mean, probably the definition of, it wasn't a 180, but it's probably a 160, And I think you'll see it too when very few, if any, of our seniors opt out. There's something about playing for each other and playing for Missouri that's special to these guys. And not that it wasn't before. It's just you have to really build trust and respect. And whether that's with the coaching, for me specifically, I think one of the things that I didn't do a great job in my first years was really building that with these guys. But over time, this group of men and the transfers that have come in, really learned to trust and respect our staff and trust and respect each other. And that's the foundation for any great brotherhood. And these guys led the way for sure. And there's some unsung heroes to it. Jack Meyer, Chris Cray, who had to take a medical red shirt this year, still shows up every day, works in the weight room, coaches on special teams. Those guys, it means something to play football and be committed to them. I think Ryan Russell's had a huge part in that too. Getting him after my first year was a huge part of our success and turnaround.
Coach, you mentioned opting out, and you don't see a whole bunch of seniors maybe choosing to do that. How do you, as the head coach, go about talking to them and making the decisions on whether or not you believe they should play or not?
Well, I think it all comes down to what the projection is from potentially the NFL. But man, there's no guarantees in this game. There's no guarantees in the game of football, and you don't ever know when the last time you're going to put your pads on. So if you got one more guaranteed opportunity, NFL is not given. It's not guaranteed for anybody. And so, well, for Luther it's guaranteed, but for the rest of us, and so, don't walk away prematurely. I think there's been guys in the past that have opted out of the bowl game and maybe didn't get the shot they thought they were going to get, and so it's been a hard lesson for people to have to learn.
Coach, have you seen the battle line rivalry?
It's growing, I'd say. For them not thinking they were much of a rival, they sure do. It sure is growing a lot. Yeah. I mean, there was a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name, which was, and like I told Taylon Green, like that was me being genuine. I literally didn't mean anything. He's a heck of a player. He's a great player, great quarterback, and by no means was I being disrespectful to him. So I think a lot of it, there's a lot of people that don't like me down in that state for whatever reason, which is good. I mean, it builds the rivalry, which is good. We need this. And it was chippy out there tonight, but I hope they all understand there's a lot of mutual respect. I respect the crud out of Arkansas and their program and what they've built. And Coach Pittman, it was sad that he couldn't be out there tonight because of his hip, but I really respect the way his team fought. He's got great coordinators. He's got great players. They've done a really good job this year, and got a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, Armstrong's a heck of a player. That play that Taylon Green made and that throw he made to Austin Armstrong on that fourth down was wow. I mean, that was right in front of me. The throw and the catch were unbelievable. But at the end of the day, our will to win was strong.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, I think you just had one target going into that final possession. So what was Arkansas doing to take
Nothing. It was just the game. We had a whole array of things that we wanted to get him the ball, but at the end of the day, in that style of game, some of it was trick stuff, some of it was unique or new stuff. We just didn't feel comfortable trying to get it. In the story, I just got done telling him, the story of Luther Burden's not going to be the one catch that if he doesn't make today, we don't win. It's going to be the monumental decision he made to come to the University of Missouri when nobody else thought he should. And his trajectory to change the program, as much as these seniors, for Luther Burden to choose to come here, for him to work to prove that he's the best player on the team, for us to make the play versus Oklahoma on 3rd and 16, or the first play in overtime versus Vanderbilt, or the 4th down catch versus South Carolina, or the 4th and 17 versus Florida. There's numerous plays. He's one of the best players, if not the best player to ever come to the University of Missouri. And for him to make that decision, change the trajectory of my career and our program, And so that's what's going to be remembered about Luther Burden. I'm not worried about today's game. This is a legacy deal. Same thing with a lot of different players. I mean, there was 6 inches of snow today. Like, you're not always going to be able to figure out how to do some of those things. So that's not the story. The story is the legacy that he leaves the University of Missouri by choosing to come here, and I'm super proud of him. MIZ.